Is this the best marker for sketchnoters and graphic recorders? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to Verbal to Visual. I'm your host, Doug Neill, and in this video, we're going to look at what makes this marker right here, the Neuland No. 1, particularly unique and why it's my new favorite marker to use while sketchnoting. First of all, this has some cool indentations that help you to know how and where to grip the marker. Now, I think that the most common way to hold a marker is like this, where there are kind of 3 touch points. Your hand is touching the marker in 3 different places. And that begs the question, why aren't there 3 indentations instead of just 2? The answer, I think, is tied to the actual tip of the marker itself. The fact that you have this chiseled tip that allows you to do a lot more, to make many more different types of marks than you could with just a marker that had a more uniform style of tip. And because of the 2 indentations here, that means that depending on what finger is resting on the spot where there's not an indentation, that helps determine what type of mark you make. So with my thumb on the non-indent side and then index and middle finger where those indentations are, that allows me to use the thickest part of the chisel to make these types of nice, bold marks. But then if I rotate the marker, my index finger is now over the non-indented part. That results in a more medium stroke. And if I do that rotation once more, that's when I get this really thin mark. And it's that fact that you essentially get 3 markers in one, 3 different thicknesses of your lines simply by rotating the marker around 1/3, along with the really cool indentations here. That's what makes this marker really powerful for sketchnoters and graphic recorders, because you can connect those different sized marks to your sketchnoting process. Using the thick marks, maybe just for the single title to your sketchnotes, medium for kind of the headers throughout it, and the thin marks for all of the detailed text. And with just a little bit of practice, you'll get to the point where you won't even have to look at the marker. You will know just by the feel of it which type of line you're about to make. On top of that, there's no annoying odor like you get with some other markers. And these markers are actually refillable. There's this small hole on the back of these markers that allows you to refill it with ink when it runs out, because you can pick up these cartridges of refillable ink that I haven't had to use yet. We'll see how much use it takes to actually deplete the ink that's already in here. So what's nice about that is you don't have to buy a whole new plastic container here every time you use up a marker. It's for that same reason that I enjoy the Pentel Energel, because whenever I run out of ink here, I can unscrew this and all I have to replace is this ink cartridge, which I have lots of. And there are so many other colors to choose from, obviously, not just these primary 4. I think the ones that I want to add next to my collection are a series of gray markers, from super light gray to darker gray, so that I can add some contrast. I tend to like using 3 colors at once: a black marker, one of these colors, lately it's been red, and then if I had a gray marker as a kind of supporting color, that would be pretty awesome. So for those reasons, these cool indentations, the 3-in-1 marker, the fact that it doesn't stink, the refillable aspect, and the plethora of colors available, that's what makes this marker pretty dang useful. Now, is this the perfect marker? Of course not. There's no such thing. But it might be the perfect marker for you for certain situations. And that's what I want you to be on the lookout for. Materials that work well for you in the situations in which you'll be sketchnoting. Finding materials that you like, that are affordable, and that align well with your process for taking visual notes. So it's never going to be about finding the single best marker or single best pen or single best notebook. It's about finding the right combination of tools that works well for you, your style, and the context in which you're taking visual notes. notes. For me, I'm excited to continue using these Neuland No. 1s as my go-to marker while I'm here in my home studio, which, if you've been following along here at Verbal to Visual for a while, you might notice is a little bit different than my previous setups. I'll be sharing more about that soon, as well as my upcoming plans for the rest of 2018. In the meantime, get out there no matter what materials that you have and keep engaging with the things that you're learning, the things that you're making, the problems that you're solving in this visual way. Good luck, and I'll see you next time.